little friend, Conan Nash. His mom's one of the big executives with MLB. But this little guy had his birthday Sunday, and then today they're celebrating a big party, and he's watching the show. So I want to say, happy birthday, Conan.
Go Shorty, it's your birthday. Conan Nash doing
man.
big things. And I got to shout out Steve Bunin, former ESPN anchor. I had lunch with him. Make sure you give Harold Rounds my what's up.
And I got to shout out to our producers, Will and Moses. No, I'm just kidding. All right, we ready to start this?
All right, let's do it, man. Let's put some 30 seconds on the clock and talk about our first pitch. First and foremost right now, I mean, the Baltimore Orioles, Ace, they lead the American League East by percentage points. Who would have thought that back in July 19th? They're ahead of the Rays.
I would have never thought it. Hey, they put it together, and it's young players. You know, they've done a nice job. Mike Elias really impressed me last year just with who he is as a person. And then they've got tremendous talent. Here's what happens. You can't miss when you have the top picks. And they didn't. And that's why the Orioles are sitting where they are right now.
Percentage points ahead of the Rays. And by the way, there's no tie when it comes to the division winners. The Orioles, if the season ended today, they would win the division. The Jays, by the way, 5 back.
You could have said they'd be 37 and 58, and somebody would not have argued with you.
Correct. A rebuilding team, young core. No.
Amazing.
The time is now for the Baltimore Orioles.
No.
All right, next up here, what's a bigger issue for the New York Yankees lately? When you talk of this team right now, is it their hitting, is it their pitching?
It's a combination. I mean, it seems like it's both. Right now, the offense has really struggled. The pitching hasn't been that bad to keep you in games, but you just think the Yankees' offense is going to be one that puts big numbers and big runs and gives that pitching a little bit of a cushion. But it just shows you. Aaron Judge, I know he's 6'7", but that is the biggest toe in all of baseball. Because when he got injured and that toe kept him from playing, man, the whole Yankee season went down the drain with that. So if he can come back, it was a great sight to see him take a BP. Yeah. He can help resurge that offense. 18
blown saves with the bullpen, which really was a strength. And I hate to say I told you so, but you said to me when it happened. I go, a couple weeks ago, could be looking at an all-star break. Could be worse. Because you've seen this injury before when it comes to a toe. You knew it was serious.
It's serious.
Could be 2 months. Could be August.
Thank you, man. I'm feeling good. I'm 2 for 2 tonight.
All right, good news. What's the threshold in the standings right now with regards to the Angels and Shohei Ohtani? Everybody keeps saying they got to trade him or not. You're 4.5 games out of the final wild card spot. Is that enough?
They're hanging around, man. Right. 4.5 is not that big of a deal. You know, it looked like 5, and they're heading down to 6 or 7. 4.5, they get hot.
5 back now.
Let's say they're within a week here of trade deadline.
Yeah.
And they
August 1st trade deadline.
3 or 4 back.
You gotta keep
That's
going.
a tough decision. I don't think Artie Moreno says let's get rid of him. You know, it's one thing if you can't afford to maybe re-sign the guy. They can afford to re-sign him.
Right.
So it makes it a little interesting to follow, but this is going to be the biggest news. Baseball needs news like this, man. We're going to dominate the headlines for a while with Shohei.
Well, I was watching yesterday, you and Matt Vasgersian. Matty B said maybe the number is a 6. You go, might be a 7. $700 million for this guy.
Well, he's going to get you $1 billion off the field. I mean, the whole country, the whole continent.
It's true. And nobody loves baseball more than Japan. Good stuff out of H. We'll
All right, thank you. What are you doing? You walking off?
Yeah,
what you got over there?
By the way, you should have seen Brian Kenny the other day on social media. It was a little dicey. But right now, Shohei Ohtani will start on the mound for the Angels on Friday. Plan your weekend accordingly. That's where our buddy John Morosi, as once again, that game is indeed coming up. The Angels and the Yankees, 7 o'clock Eastern right here at MLB Network. With that, we welcome in our buddy JP Morosi right now. JP, listen, there's lots to get into here when you're talking about this Angels team and overall the way things are looking. But first and foremost, how has Mickey Moniak changed the trajectory of what this offense is capable of?
Adnan and Harold, good evening. And I'm glad you asked about Mickey Moniak because we do talk about the major left-handed bat in the Angels lineup, of course, that being Shohei Ohtani. But it's a really strong show of support by manager Phil Nevin that Mickey Moniak is in the lineup tonight against the left-handed Carlos Rodon. What a great story it's been for Moniak. He went to high school not far from here in La Costa Canyon High School in Carlsbad, California. Of course, as we know, the #1 overall pick to the Phillies never really got going there. Some injuries. He struggled at times, but he has found rebirth back in his native Southern California. Here is what he has done, Adnan, since May the 13th. This is not a small sample. More than 2 months of really solid production right now for Mickey Moniak. And so when you think about Trout being out of the lineup, as you talked about, the need for the Angels to get back into this race in a meaningful way to validate that possibility of keeping Ohtani beyond August the 1st, Mickey Moniak is as important as almost anyone in an Angels uniform not named Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah, all eyes to Ohtani, but Moniak definitely has been special. You know, Jay, people are all rooting for our man, Sean Casey. Hopefully this Yankee offense can turn things around. How are the Yankees looking to revamp that lineup after losing 5 of the last 6?
Well, and then first and foremost, I can tell you that we asked Aaron Boone today, how's Case doing? He said, Case is doing great. He's maintaining that positive frame of mind, really bonding together with these Yankees hitters who obviously, as you point out, need a boost right now. They've lost 3 games straight. Here is the lineup for Aaron Boone this evening. There's some youth in there. Oswald Peraza playing third base, of course. Josh Donaldson is out. The rookie shortstop, Anthony Volpe. Oswaldo Cabrera is in there as well. They need to get a couple guys, I think, going in a really meaningful way with Harrison Bader in center field. Again, some injuries for him this season. But Adnan, this is not all on one player. This is a collective team that has to get going. You think about how they have performed in the month of July. Not at all what you would expect from the Bronx Bombers. We know, of course, the absence, well-documented, number 99. They're simply not the same team without him. But I do think you're seeing some positive signs. DJ LeMahieu, much better at-bats from him in recent days. We know in so many ways, Adnan and Harold, the Yankees go as LeMahieu goes. So as his performance has improved, I think certainly the Yankees expect their performance will go in accordance with that. One last note tonight, Anthony Rizzo not in the lineup, just a day off, according to Aaron Boone.
Now, Rizzo has been slumping lately. Perhaps they need to clear the cobwebs, so to speak. He'll come back ready to go. JP Morosi, good stuff, my friend. Another look at the ballpark cam presented by NTT, the innovation partner of Major League Baseball. As H noticed off the top, Aaron Judge once again doing some work pregame as the Yankees hope to have their big bopper back sooner rather than later. It's now time for Leading Off.
So we're set to go, and Harold Reynolds will step in to lead it off.
And here's the action man of the Seattle Mariners, Harold Reynolds.
Big favorite here. Hi, Harold.
Safe at first base is Harold Reynolds. Way back, it is gone.
It depends on where I'm hitting the lineup, really, and there's been a lot of talk of me hitting leadoff.
Harold Reynolds in the leadoff spot.
Harold Reynolds leading off.
All right. Hey, we already had games in progress today, so instead of showing you what might happen tonight, let's go back and look at what already has happened today, this afternoon. Los Angeles at Baltimore. Now, hey, Bill Ripken, they left the tarp off last night. I'm like, what? But out and in, this is the first ball opposite field from a left-hander that went over the new fence. That's 398 out there. And as you well know, Mr. Ripken will be joining us later. In Baltimore in the summer, the ball starts to hop. But that's the first one. I thought that was so impressive. So out man, out of here. All right, let's go over here. We got Tampa and Texas. And let's see what happened out there in Tampa and Texas. Well, as you get a chance to see, Randy Arozarena. Go get a ball, Randy. Go get it! Is this guy not a primetime player? He is so fun to watch, and I think we're just starting to see the best years of Randy go play. That was the play of the day in the game for me right there. Let's take a look at the next place we're going to head to as we go to Pittsburgh, as we see the Indians, the Guardians, got me saying the Indians. Josh Bell homered yesterday from the left side. Today, a couple hits from the right side. He's starting to get hot. If the Guardians are going to do what they're hoping they'll do, he's going to be a big part of it. So he homered left-handed yesterday, homers from the right side today. That was kind of something that stood out as I looked at that ball game. Let's go to the last one. You got the Marlins and the Cardinals here. Well, there's only 2 people you really want to watch. Nolan Arenado, will he stay hot? Yeah, he got a couple hits today. Drove in a run right there. Here's another one. But this is the guy I'm watching. Will Mr. Arise get it going? Go get it. Nope, not going to find that one. You think you can throw in, I'll pull it. You throw it away, I'll shoot it over there. If you throw it in, I'll shoot it over there. He continues to just swing the bats. All right, so we got more coming at you right now. Adnan, what you got happening? What's going on, buddy?
Update right now, H in Colorado. Checking Mauricio Dubon against Austin Gomber. That's a base hit in the center. The Astros are on the board.
Tell you what, he's getting a lot of playing time.
Dubon certainly has been, though. To his absence, he's been important. And Jose Abreu,
he's starting to come alive. It's going to be fun, man, these next couple months. We've had a lot of guys that have been just like frozen in ice starting to thaw out. And maybe they'll get hot at the right time.
by the way, Chas McCormick's going to be a guest with us tomorrow on MLB Tonight. He's the reigning American League Player of the Week. He's feeling pretty good this week, too.
Every time I see him and I think about Bill Ripken, that reminds me of Mike Stanley when we used to play with him. That same swing. And Bill, did you play with him in Texas? No.
No, that's a no.
Okay.
But he likes Mike Stanley.
Yes, that was a good swing.
Yeah, he does like Stanley.
Good swing.
McCormick's 12th home of the season. Then C.J. Cron against Presley. It's now or never. Cron sitting it deep, and that baby's gone. Heartbreak Hotel there for the Stros.
Oh, they were in the ninth here.
And then
And they shut it down. Who?
Michael
I don't know.
Toglia, 2-2 count, 2 out. There's a drive deep at the warning track. What a catch!
There it is.
The catch at the wall as the Astros came in 4.5 games back of the Texas Rangers. So make that 4 games. 4-1 is the final. Bielak looked awfully good. 5 2/3. Did not give up an earned run. And plenty of offense in the likes of McCormick and Abreu and others. Still to come here.
The track turns, looks out of here. How about that for one pitch?
With Corey, and he hits this one in the air. Deep to center field. That one is gone! A 3-run shot for Seager. And that opens things up a little bit in the 7th.
With one swing of the bat, just smashes it right back up the middle and over the wall.
That's right. The Rays and the Rangers. Texas coming on strong. This is today's action. Bottom of the 3rd. Leody Taveras. That's a solo homer. His 11th of the season.
They fooled me. He stood in the box right-handed, and he swung left. What in the world?
That's your number 9 hitter with some pop for Texas. Top of 5. One on for Yandy Diaz. Off the leg of John Gray.
Ouch.
Gray's in some pain. Gray's anatomy. He would have to leave the game. X-rays came back negative. Longest running TV show. Top of 7, Alex Spies is in the pitch, making his major league debut, facing Wander Franco. How does that feel? Hey, you're coming in, dude. You're facing Wander Franco. First ever moment in the major leagues. He gets him looking, and the many more go. Got him. How about the Spies family? Let's go.
It's all right.
Bottom of it. Oh, man. Adolis Garcia, hit by the pitch, had to leave the game.
Dang, Rangers getting beat up.
X-rays came back negative. Later in the inning, 2 on for Jonah Heim.
Ooh, get that off his hind, back hind. His hind leg.
The Heim leg for his 3-run home run, his 14th of the year. Rangers up 5-0. They win it 5-1. The worst records in July. Like the Pittsburgh Pirates at one point were 20-8. In July they've been awful, but so are the Rays as well. Surprisingly, they're at 3-11. You got the A's, the Angels, the D-backs, and the White Sox. D-backs, potential playoff team. The Rays, obviously, best team in the AL East, and they have been struggling. In the meantime, our AL West innings brought to you by Han Cook, the Texas Rangers. Remember at the All-Star break, it was only a 2-game lead. Well, now it's 4.5 games. Astros are there, then the Angels, the Mariners, the A's. But ultimately, this Texas offense is special, and it's being led by a 2-headed monster. For more, here's one head, Bill Ripken.
Hey, thanks about that. I tell you what, when these two guys give me an opportunity to talk about them, I'm going to jump at it. And the beautiful thing about it is they give me a lot of opportunity to do that. But before we get to them, let's go back to a board here and take a look at some other middle guys. And it's kind of interesting as this kind of goes down the wayside because these were all drafted guys by their team. And they came up and they played together. And I think that these guys, through the course of this 7-year contract, if it plays out right, both came via free agent. I think that's pretty interesting. One more thing. I will say this. These were some of my favorite guys to play against and watch. And I'll go even one step further. This guy, Alan Trammell, playing shortstop. When I was 19 years old and I was in between my off-season and going to instructional league, my brother said to me, the Tigers were in town to Baltimore playing the Orioles. He said, look, I know you're going to go hang out with your buddies, drink beer in the right field stands. He was right. He goes, but do me a favor. Watch this dude play shortstop a couple innings. Don't watch me. I do things a little bit different. This is the dude I want you to watch for the future because he's really fundamental sound. Now, just go back and show a little video of these guys doing their thing back in the day. Like I said, they were drafted, right? So here's Blauser, Lemke, turn a double play. That was nice and quick, by the way. No question about that. Robinson Cano, Derek Jeter. It's fun to go back and see these dudes doing their thing, but there's a success rate that these guys had playing. Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley. That's nice to watch. And then we're going to go to the two that I talked about, Alan Trammell and Sweet Lou Whitaker. An awful lot of fun to watch. Now, let's get back into this, and let's just love what's going on with these two guys as they turn into a little easy double play as well. But I love watching them offensively. Get after it. And we're just going to see a nice little rip at 27 home runs. One with 13, one with 14. They're getting it done. There's some controlled violence out of Simeon's swing right here. He can get the stuff quick, but a lot of these balls are yelling, hit me, by the way. And they're just obliging as this thing goes. Keep that frozen, Lisa. That's fine right there where it is. I believe in these cases last night, because both these guys hit home runs last night, both of them hit it on first pitch. There's no count in here. And I think these guys are so good at being able to cover out here that even if they get rushed, they react to it slightly different, because we're going to try to go out here. This ball's going to crowd them. Watch Simeon get to this thing in a hurry. Play it, please. Oh, my goodness. So now let's just enjoy Corey Seager and what he's able to do. Hitting an awful lot of balls. He's a first pitch attack man, too. Doesn't matter. Sometimes lefty throwing him breaking ball, lefty try to rush him. He's going to get them, and he's hitting a lot of balls to the big part of the field. I know he's a pull hitter. Keep it frozen, Lisa. Thank you. Once again, first pitch, just like Simeon. And I don't know necessarily what they're designed to do here with this target right down Broadway, but that's dangerous when you're throwing it to a first pitch. I think they rush him a little bit in here, and he very subtly gets the barrel to it too. And not only that, he's taking this ball in the inner part of the plate. He's going almost dead central. You can't teach it. I'm sorry. Play this, please. He's going to get crowded a bit. That's 99. Now, what I want to look at this is they do it two different ways. So freeze that for me, Lisa, and I know it's moving slow, so we're not going to miss this. Simeon did some things that I think my brother did when the ball crowded him. He's going to shorten the lever and bring his hands in here and still pull the baseball. And I want to watch this, because right in here somewhere there's going to be an emergency hack. But watch his hands and then watch where the barrel gets and he goes, get on out of here. Play that thing through, Lisa, and we'll watch that. That's the thing where I think he's looking away and then he crowds him. But when he starts to fire his hands, he pulls his hands in. And then look at the barrel get through. His hands almost stay. And he just spins right around it and goes bridge. Seager, on the other hand, freeze that for me, Lisa. You're going to see a little bit of a difference, because I think he really pulls that bat head or the bat knob through, and his hands are going to get extended, and he's still going to go center. Play that. And it's tough to see when you're doing slow motion things, even when it's that slow, but when you put these guys up side by side and show you what I mean by the difference, look at where his hands were. Very similar pitch down and in. This one's the same way, but look how far Seager's hands are out there. It's just a little bit different of an attack, but what's cool about it and what's real about it, both of these dudes know where that is. Where the sweet spot is on their bat, they just kind of got to it in two different ways, but I love the way this dude attacked it right there, because it did remind me of watching my brother hit some inside fastballs for homers. This guy right here is just an absolute beast right now, but I love the fact if these guys can both stay on the field together and he can stay there through the 7 years and get it done, he's going to go on a pretty good list of shortstops.
Well said, Rip. Both those guys have been awesome for Texas. In the meantime, how about the Guardians and the Pirates? Top of 5, 1-0 Guardians, 2 on for Ahmed Rosario. That's a 2-run double to center. Attempted play there by Sawinski.
Yeah. Ball cut back on him. But this is the guy. I mean, Bell's starting to swing it.
Yes.
I talked about that with Abreu. Some ice getting shook off these guys. It's starting to heat up a little bit.
Josh Bell, RBI single to center. Now it's Sawinski. You saw tough play there to center.
This dude got mad power.
But he can hit. You're right.
Really hit.
That's an RBI double to right.
Laser off the wall.
Pirates down 4-2 at that point in time. Then we go to the bottom of the 7th. Pirates down 4-3. G-Man Choi. Happy Choi. The 2-run single to right, and the Pirates take a 5-4 lead.
Yes.
Later leading Jared Triolo, and that's a 2-run single to the left. Finally, the Pirates win a game.
Took a bit, but you'll take them all.
They win this game 7-5. So the Guardians, they've bounced back with consecutive victories over Pittsburgh by a combined score of 21-1. They were trying to get to 500. They do not. The Pirates, though, they finally win. Dating back to June 11th, they've got the worst record in the majors, but a big 7-5 victory for them over the Guardians. In the meantime, time for Securing the Bag, presented by ZipRecruiter, and we head back to Pittsburgh, where the Guardians still